got a message through my Facebook fan page that simply asked me, why do you seem to lean so heavily towards punk in your music reviews and on your radio show? This is certainly a fair question, as anyone who watches these videos regularly or listens to my radio show every single week can make a case that certainly I have a bias towards punk rock. I was raised on a wide range of music, mostly rock and roll and psychedelic, but to be honest, in my early teens, I found punk rock and I've never been the same since. It was then and continues to be the style of music that speaks most meaningfully and clearly to me. And as I dig deeper and deeper into the genre as the years go by, I find more and more music from that style that I love and want to pass on to other people. That's not to say that I'm not constantly looking for the next big thing in other styles of music, because I certainly do, but the fact of the matter is when it comes down to my preferred or favorite style of music, it's punk rock, because everybody has their own preference. Dave asked me via email, what are your thoughts on the resurgence of vinyl and things like Record Store Day? I mean, let's be honest, anything that has more people listening to more music is definitely a good thing. Add to that the fact that most people have become used to substandard audio experiences due to digital downloads, and I think it makes the resurgence of vinyl and other analog formats even more important. I'm not slamming digital, but as I've discussed before, when recorded properly, there is a noticeable difference between analog and digital recordings on the listening experience side of things. Along with this, Record Store specifically is a great thing as it gets people into locally owned stores. And I have to think over the last few years, there's been a ton of people who were surprised to find they had great mom and pop music stores in their neighborhood. But at the same time, I'm really not a fan of the massive price gouging we see tons of artists doing for vinyl releases. There's absolutely no reason that we should be seeing records, even if they're double and triple album releases, going for $50, $70, hell, even $250 at first purchase price. Limited edition things are nice and they have their place, but it's really becoming obvious that certain artists are just abusing their fans in terms of how much they're charging for these things. But overall, yay vinyl, keep buying it and keep listening. Finally, last week I got this anonymous message on Tumblr that simply said, my parents don't want me listening to heavy metal music. What can I do? Okay, first off, remember, your parents put the roof over your head, not me. So take this as more of a suggestion or maybe just some advice. They do get the final say, unfortunately. But to be honest, I think I'd approach them just like you'd approach anybody else who doesn't want to listen to a specific style of music. Sit down with them in a calm manner and ask them calmly if they can tell you calmly what exactly it is that they don't like about heavy metal. Chances are, since you're talking about heavy metal, you're going to hear things about Satanism, violence, tattoos, and all sorts of things we know aren't exactly the complete truth about the genre. But at the same time, they are valid points to an extent. If you really want to be a smartass, which I highly recommend, you might want to ask them then what the difference is between listening to violent music and watching violence on the news or reading a newspaper. But be careful with that one because you might get grounded. Assuming you're older than 11 or 12 years old, you may also want to try to just sit down and talk to them and let them know that you understand that bands like this are simply trying to sell an image or a sound and that you don't take it all completely seriously, though you do love the sound. Maybe even go so far as inviting them to sit down and listen to a couple albums that you like with you. Let them hear exactly what you want to play because then maybe they'll have better justification for their feelings. Granted, if they agree to that last option, it might not be the time to bring out Slayer or Pig Destroyer, but maybe some Anthrax or Metallica or some Sabbath might do the trick and show them that there's a lot more than just the image the media presents. If worse comes to worse, well, that's why they have small MP3 players and headphones. Best of luck. So those are my questions for this week. If you've got a music-related question, go ahead and email it to me at thedailyguru@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr right here, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.